There's a motion at the desk. The clerk will report the motion.
Pursuant to Article 4, Section 19 of the Constitution of the State of Minnesota, Winkler moves that the rule therein be suspended and an urgency be declared, and that the rules of the House be so far suspended so that House File Number 65 be given its second and third readings and be placed upon its final passage.
Representative Winkler.
Madam Speaker, members, I inadvertently stated that the last bill was a Hornstein bill, and when in fact it was Hansen. And this bill is the Hornstein bill, and I ask for your support to suspend the rules and take it up.
Representative Dowd.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd ask members to support the motion.
On the motion to suspend the rules related to House File Number 65, the clerk will take the roll.
Acom.
Acom, aye.
Acom, aye. Albright. Albright, aye. Anderson.
Anderson, aye.
Anderson, aye. Backer.
Backer, aye.
Backer, aye. Bonner.
Bonner, aye.
Bonner, aye. Barr.
Barr, no.
Barr, no. Baker.
Baker, aye.
Baker, aye. Becker, Finn. Becker, Finn, aye. Bennett.
Bennett, aye.
Bennett, aye. Bernardi.
Bernardi, aye.
Bernardi, aye. Bierman.
Bierman, aye.
Bierman, aye. Bow.
Bow, aye.
Bow, aye. Brand.
Brown votes aye.
Brand, aye. Cantrell.
Cantrell, aye.
Cantrell, aye. Carlson, A.
Carlson, A, aye.
Carlson, A, aye. Carlson, L.
Carlson, L, aye.
Carlson, L, aye. Christensen.
Christensen, aye.
Christensen, aye. Claflin.
Claflin, aye.
Claflin, aye. Considine.
Considine, aye.
Considine, aye. Daniels.
Daniels, aye.
Daniels, aye. Doubt. Doubt, aye. Davids.
David's, aye.
Davids, aye. Davney. Davney. Dean.
Dean, aye.
Dean, aye. Damath. Damath, aye. Detmer.
Detmer, aye.
Detmer, aye. Dreskowski. Dreskowski, no. Eklund.
Eklund, aye.
Eklund, aye. Edelson.
Edelson, aye.
Edelson, aye. Elkins.
Elkins, aye.
Elkins, aye. Erickson.
Erickson, aye.
Erickson, aye. Fabian.
Fabian, aye.
Fabian, aye. Fisher.
Fisher, aye.
Fisher, aye. Franzen. Franzen, aye. Freiberg.
Freiberg, aye.
Freiberg, aye. Garofalo. Garofalo, aye. Gomez.
Gomez, aye.
Gomez, aye. Green.
Green, aye.
Green, aye. Grossel.
Grossel, aye.
Grossel, aye. Grunhagen.
Grunhagen, aye.
Grunhagen, aye. Gunther.
Gunther, aye.
Gunther, aye. Haley.
Haley, aye.
Haley, aye. Halverson.
Halverson, aye.
Halverson, aye. Hamilton.
Hamilton, aye.
Hamilton, aye. Hanson.
Hanson, aye.
Hanson, aye. Hassan.
Hassan, aye.
Hassan, aye. Hausman.
Hausman, aye.
Hausman, aye. Heinrich.
Heinrich, aye.
Heinrich, aye. Heinzman.
Heinzman, aye.
Heinzman, aye. Herr.
Her, aye.
Herr, aye. Hertos.
Hertos, aye.
Hertos, aye. Hornstein.
Hornstein, aye.
Hornstein, aye. Howard.
Howard, aye.
Howard, aye. Hewitt.
Hewitt, aye.
Hewitt, aye. Johnson.
Johnson, aye.
Johnson, aye. Jordan.
Jordan, aye.
Jordan, aye. Jurgens.
Jurgens, aye.
Jurgens, aye. Keel. Keel, aye. Cleavorn.
Cleaborn, aye.
Cleavorn, aye. Cagle.
Cagle, aye.
Cagle, aye. Katiza Wattoon.
Katiza Wattoon, aye.
Katiza Wattoon, aye. Kosnick.
Kosnick, aye.
Kosnick, aye. Kreshaw.
Grisha, aye.
Kreshaw, aye. Kunish Bodine.
Kunesh Podine, aye.
Kunish Bodine, aye. Lehman.
Lehman, aye.
Lehman, aye. Lee.
Lee, aye.
Lee, aye. Lesh.
Lesh, aye.
Lesh, aye. Liebling.
Liebling, aye.
Liebling, aye. Lean.
Lean, aye.
Lean, aye. Lilly.
Lily, aye.
Lilly, aye. Lippert.
Lippert, aye.
Lippert, aye. Listagard.
Listagard, aye.
Listegard, aye. Long.
Long, aye.
Long, aye. Lucero.
Lucero, yes.
Lucero, aye. Lewick. Lewick, aye. Mahoney. Mahoney, aye. Mann.
Mann, aye.
Mann, aye. Mariani.
Mariani, aye.
Mariani, aye. Markwart.
Markwart, aye.
Markwart, aye. Mason.
Mason, aye.
Mason, aye. McDonald.
McDonald, aye.
McDonald, aye. Mecklin.
Meckland, aye.
Mecklin, aye. Miller.
Miller, aye.
Miller, aye. Moeller.
Moeller, aye.
Moeller, aye. Moran.
Moran, aye.
Moran, aye. Morrison.
Morrison, aye.
Morrison, aye. Munson. Munson. Murphy.
Murphy, aye.
Murphy, aye. Nash. Nash, aye. Nelson, M.
Nelson M, aye.
Nelson, M, aye. Nelson, N.
Nelson N, aye.
Nelson, N, aye. New. New, aye. Noor. Noor, aye. Nornis.
Nornis, aye.
Nornis, aye. Novotny.
Novotny, aye.
Novotny, aye. O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll, aye. Olson. Olson.
Olson, aye.
Olson, aye. O'Neill.
O'Neill, aye.
O'Neill, aye. Pulowski.
Pulowski, aye.
Pulowski, aye. Purcell.
Purcell, aye.
Purcell, aye. Petersburg.
Petersburg, aye.
Petersburg, aye. Pearson. Pearson.
Pearson, aye.
Pearson, aye. Pinto.
Pinto, aye.
Pinto, aye. Poppy.
Poppy, aye.
Poppy, aye. Poston.
Poston, aye.
Poston, aye. Pryor.
Pryor, aye.
Pryor, aye. Quam.
Yes.
Quam, aye. Richardson.
Richardson, aye.
Richardson, aye. Robbins.
Robbins, aye.
Robbins, aye. Runbeck.
Runbeck, aye.
Runbeck, aye. Sandell.
Sandell, aye.
Sandell, aye. Sandsted.
Sandsted, aye.
Sandsted, aye. Sauk.
South, aye.
Sauk, aye. Schumacher.
Schumacher, aye.
Schumacher, aye. Schultz.
Schultz, aye.
Schultz, aye. Scott. Scott. Stevenson.
Stevenson, aye.
Stevenson, aye. Sundin.
Sundin, aye.
Sundin, aye. Swazinski.
Swazinski, aye.
Swazinski, aye. Tabke.
Kepke, aye.
Tabke, aye. Tice.
Tice, aye.
Tice, aye. Torkelson. Torkelson, aye. Erdahl.
Erdahl, aye.
Erdahl, aye. Vang.
Vang, aye.
Vang, aye. Vogel.
Vogel, aye.
Vogel, aye. Wagenius.
Wagenius, aye.
Wagenius, aye. Waslowick.
Wozlowick, aye.
Waslowick, aye. West.
West, aye.
West, aye. Winkler. Winkler, aye. Walgamot.
Wogamot, aye.
Walgamot, aye. Zhang Jie.
Long J, aye.
Zhang Jie, aye. Zhang Ti.
John T, aye.
Zhang Ti, aye. Joachim.
Joachim, aye.
Joachim, aye. Speaker Hartman. Speaker Hartman, aye. Davney. Davney.
Daphne, aye.
Davney, aye. Munson. Munson, no. Scott.
Scott, Scott, aye.
Scott, aye.
The motion prevails. The clerk will give the bill its third reading. I'm sorry, it's second reading.
Second reading, House File Number 65.
Second reading, House File 65. There's an amendment at the desk. The clerk will report the amendment.
Hornstein moves to amend House File Number 65 as follows, and the amendment is coded A1.
Whose amendment?
It's Hornstein.
Representative Hornstein, to your amendment.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker and members. Let me just give you some quick context for this amendment and the bill. House File 65 deals with the transition from MNLARS to the new vehicle title and registration system. Members, you'll recall that we passed legislation to enable that transition. The MNLARS system, of course, was not working. And recently it was found that there was something that was missed in that enabling legislation, that there was no listing for fees charged for replacement fees for certain kinds of vehicles, tax-exempt vehicles, and certain dealer plates. So sections 1, 2, and 3 in the bill address that problem, and then sections 4, 5, a related issue concerning Real ID, and again, we've addressed Real ID a number of times here on the House floor. Passed legislation. Sections 4 and 5 allow placement of a gold star on the upper right hand of enhanced licenses so that they can become Real ID compliant. So that's the bill, and then the amendment simply clarifies that the fee for the tax-exempt plates applies for replacement and not the initial plates. Again, the sections 1, 2, and 3 are dealing with replacement plates. So that is the bill, and that is the amendment, Madam Speaker and members.
Any further discussion to the A1 amendment to House File 65? Seeing none, all those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Those opposed, please say no. The motion prevails. The amendment is adopted. There are no further amendments at the desk. The clerk will give the bill its third reading.
Third reading, House File number 65, as amended.
Third reading as amended. Discussion to the bill. The member from Brown, Representative Torkelson.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. I'd like to thank Representative Hornstein for bringing this bill forward. Kind of long for the days when MNLARS was a big problem. We have other things to deal with these days, but the effort to replace MNLARS with the new system goes on. This legislation will help that proceed smoothly. Thank you again, Representative Hornstein, for bringing this forward. I urge a green vote on the bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker and members.
Representative Hornstein.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. I also just wanted to note that there's no cost to this bill, and the provisions have been agreed to by members on both sides of the aisle.
Seeing no further discussion, the clerk will take the roll on the bill as amended.
Acom.
Acom, aye.
Acom, aye. Albright. Albright, aye. Anderson.
Anderson, aye.
Anderson, aye. Backer.
Backer, aye.
Backer, aye. Bonner.
Bonner, aye.
Bonner, aye. Barr.
Aye. Barr, aye.
Barr, aye. Baker.
Baker, aye.
Baker, aye. Becker, Finn. Becker, Finn, aye. Bennett.
Bennett, aye.
Bennett, aye. Bernardi.
Bernardi, aye.
Bernardi, aye. Bierman.
Bierman, aye.
Bierman, aye. Bow.
Bow, aye.
Bow, aye. Brand.
Brand votes yes.
Brand, aye. Cantrell.
Cantrell, aye.
Cantrell, aye. Carlson, A.
Carlson, A, aye.
Carlson, A, aye. Carlson, L.
Carlson, L, aye.
Carlson, L, aye. Christensen.
Christensen, aye.
Christensen, aye. Claflin.
Claflin, aye.
Claflin, aye. Considine.
Considine. Aye.
Considine, aye. Daniels.
Daniels, aye.
Daniels, aye. Doubt. Doubt, aye. Davids.
David's, aye.
Davids, aye. Davney.
Dabney, aye.
Davney, aye. Dean.
Dean, aye.
Dean, aye. Damath. Damath, aye. Detmer.
Detmer, aye.
Detmer, aye. Driscollski. Driscollski, aye. Eklund.
Eklund, aye.
Eklund, aye. Edelson.
Edelson, aye.
Edelson, aye. Elkins.
Elkins, aye.
Elkins, aye. Erickson.
Erickson, I.
Erickson, aye. Fabian.
Fabian,
Fabian, I. Fisher.
Fisher, aye.
Fisher, I. Franzen.
Branson, I.
Franzen, I. Freiberg.
Freiberg, aye.
Freiberg, I. Garofalo. Garofalo, I. Gomez.
Gomez, I.
Gomez, I. Green.
Green, aye.
Green, I. Grossel.
Grossel, aye.
Grossel, I. Grunhagen.
Grunegan, aye.
Grunhagen, I. Gunther.
Gunther, aye.
Gunther, I. Haley.
Haley, I.
Haley, I. Halverson.
Halverson, I.
Halverson, I. Hamilton.
Hamilton, aye.
Hamilton, I. Hanson.
Hanson, aye.
Hanson, I. Hassan.
Hassan, I.
Hassan, I. Hausman.
Houseman, I.
Hausman, I. Heinrich.
Heinrich, aye.
Heinrich, I. Heinzman.
Heinzman, aye.
Heinzman, I. Her.
Her, I.
Her, I. Hertas.
Hertas, aye.
Hertas, I. Hornstein.
Hornstein, I.
Hornstein, I. Howard.
Howard, aye.
Howard, I. Hewitt.
Hewitt, aye.
Hewitt, I. Johnson.
Johnson, aye.
Johnson, I. Jordan.
Jordan, I.
Jordan, I. Jurgens.
Jurgens, aye.
Jurgens, I. Keel. Keel, I. Cleavorn.
Seaborn, I.
Cleavorn, I. Cagle.
Kegel, I.
Cagle, I. Katiza Watun.
Katiza Watun, I.
Katiza Watun, I. Kosnick.
Cosmic, I.
Kosnick, I. Krisha.
Grisha, aye.
Krisha, I. Kunish Podine. Kunish
Podine, I.
Kunish Podine, I. Lehman.
Lehman, I.
Lehman, I. Lee.
Lee, aye.
Lee, I. Lesh.
Lesh, aye.
Lesh, I. Liebling.
Liebling, I.
Liebling, I. Lean.
Lean, aye.
Lean, I. Lilly.
Lily, I.
Lily, I. Lippert.
Lippert, aye.
Lippert, I. Listlegard.
Aye. Listlegard, aye.
Listlegard, I. Long.
Long, aye.
Long, I. Lucero.
Lucero, yes.
Lucero, I. Lewick. Lewick, I. Mahoney. Mahoney, I. Mann.
Man, I.
Mann, I. Mariani.
Mariani, aye.
Mariani, I. Markwart.
Markward, aye.
Markwart, I. Mason.
Mason, I.
Mason, I. McDonald.
McDonald, aye.
McDonald, I. Mecklin.
Meckland, aye.
Mecklin, I. Miller.
Miller, aye.
Miller, I. Moeller.
Moeller, I.
Moeller, I. Moran.
Moran, I.
Moran, I. Morrison.
Morrison, I.
Morrison, I. Munson.
Munson, aye.
Munson, I. Murphy.
Murphy, I.
Murphy, I. Nash. Nash, I. Nelson, M.
Nelson, M, aye.
Nelson, M. I. Nelson, N.
Nelson, N, aye.
Nelson, N. I. New. New, I. Nor. Nor, I. Nornis.
Nordis, aye.
Nornis, I. Novotny.
Novotny, no.
Novotny, no. O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll, I. Olson.
Olson, I.
Olson, I. O'Neill.
O'Neill, I.
O'Neill, I. Pulowski.
Pulowski, aye.
Pulowski, I. Purcell.
Purcell, aye.
Purcell, I. Petersburg.
Petersburg, aye.
Petersburg, I. Pearson.
Pearson, aye.
Pearson, I. Pinto.
Pinto, aye.
Pinto, I. Poppy.
Poppy, I.
Poppy, I. Poston.
Poston, aye.
Poston, I. Pryor.
Pryor, I.
Pryor, I. Quam.
Gvam, aye.
Quam, I. Richardson.
Richardson, I.
Richardson, I. Robbins. Robbins, I. Runbeck.
Runbeck, I.
Runbeck, I. Sandell.
Sandell, aye.
Sandell, I. Sandsted.
Hanstead, I.
Sandsted, I. Sauk.
Salk, aye.
Sauk, I. Schumacher.
Schumacher, aye.
Schumacher.
Drum roll. Schumacher, aye.
Schumacher, aye. Schultz.
Schultz, aye.
Schultz, aye. Scott.
Scott, aye.
Scott, aye. Stevenson.
Stevenson, aye.
Stevenson, aye. Sundin.
Sundin, aye.
Sundin, aye. Swazinski.
Swazinski, aye.
Swazinski, aye. Tabke.
Tabke, aye.
Tabke, aye. Tice.
Tice, aye.
Tice, aye. Torkelson. Torkelson, aye. Erdahl.
Erdahl, aye.
Erdahl, aye. Vang.
Vang, aye.
Vang, aye. Vogel.
Vogel, aye.
Vogel, aye. Wagenius.
Wagenius, aye.
Wagenius, aye. Wozlowick.
Oslowick, aye.
Wozlowick, aye. West.
West, aye.
West, aye. Winkler. Winkler, aye. Wolgamott.
Wolgamott, aye.
Wolgamott, aye. Zhang Jie.
Zhang Jie, aye.
Zhang Jie, aye. Zhang Ti.
Zhang Ti, aye.
Zhang Ti, aye. Joachim.
Joachim, aye.
Joachim, aye. Speaker Hartman. Speaker Hartman, aye.
There being 133 ayes and 1 nay, the bill is passed as amended and its title agreed to.